These are the voyages of SV Prism. The crew on board are searching for exotic landscapes and foreign cultures as they sail their 33-foot sailboat beyond horizons.
As we left Topolobampo, winds were light and from behind, allowing us to use our big nylon drifter headsail. Although Prism is only 33 feet long, she is quite heavy. At almost 25,000 pounds fully loaded, that is more than double of other common 33-footers. Putting up with this extra weight requires us to use bigger sails, but we are paid back with a very comfortable, smooth motion at sea. We had an unexpected visitor from the deep. 2 juvenile sea lions had found us out in open water. We have never to this day had seals companion with us so far offshore. By late afternoon, the winds had picked up to the mid-teens, directly from behind us. So we doused the drifter and continued downwind under full main alone, with the preventer set. Using a boom preventer allows you to keep the mainsail fully sheeted out. And when going dead downwind, it's a huge safety feature that prevents accidental jives. When the wind gets to the mid to upper teens, we prefer this sail plan if we're going dead downwind. We can keep the boat speed up in the upper 6s, and we don't have to worry about pulling out the jib. While we were out on the foredeck taking in the scenery, off our port we saw a huge splash. Whales! Trying to film a breaching whale is quite difficult because you don't know where or when they're going to breach. Luckily, we were able to capture a few. These humpback whales continued to breach over and over as we passed by. With temperatures still in the low 50s at night, John and I bundled up for the overnight passage and enjoyed the incredible sunset.
We are finally getting further down the coast. We left Topolobampo today. We just had an incredible sunset behind us. I'm pretty sure the days of not having any other boats on your night passages are over. We're definitely getting more near population because right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, we have 13 boats all around us right now, which is a lot different than like not seeing one the entire night, what we're used to up in northern Tierra Cortez. So it's pretty exciting. Luckily we have a buddy boat throughout all this, and they're kind of more in the middle of it than we are right now. So we'll see how they go. Hopefully they can make a hole for us to get through.
With no clouds, the sky resembled diamonds as the millions of stars became visible on our no-moon passage. With sparkles in the sky and in the sea, Prism rushed forward down the swells, cascading waves of light as she went. Looking behind, Prism left a phosphorescent trail in her wake. As the night progressed, the wind slowly began to die. Once our boat speed dropped under a knot, it was time to turn on Prism's reliable Yanmar to push us along until the wind came back.
Not quite sure what that is. That ultra bright star looking thing is exactly what it sounds like. It's an ultra bright star. I don't know why it's ultra bright. We have what looks to be a UFO. Pretty sure. I don't know. It's a super bright star off the port side. It's not always there, but it's not moving either. So it kind of loses its brightness and then comes back with a crazy amount of intensity. So you can see it's much brighter than anything else in the sky. And it has like a haze in front of it too, which the star behind it doesn't, which tells me it's in the atmosphere. But it is completely hovering. It looks like a plane, but a plane that doesn't move. It literally has been hanging next to that star the entire time. Now if it pulls like an X-Files jam out sesh, I might poop my pants. I'm still just perplexed by this giant freaking orb in the sky though. But I've recorded it now, and so I have proof that I'm not entirely crazy. There it goes, losing its intensity now. And it's almost to what I would call a normal star strength there. Even though it's still pretty orby right there.
After John's possible UFO sighting, Dawn gifted us with a rising moon and some wind. We are in Altata, and it was an adventure to get in here, but completely worth it. Once you're in past the bar, you motor or sail through some shallow and then normal patches to get up to town, which is about 15 miles up the bay. So you go down in and then back up, which is kind of counteractive, but it's a really cute little town. And there are the Ponga fishermen in front of us. And this is the first time we've seen this. Looks like they have little spinnaker sails that help them drift down when they cast their nets. I love that they're all different colors. It's so cool. Altata is the last anchorage or safe port to visit on the mainland side of the Sea of Cortez. Nestled behind a massive natural land barrier, the town and bay are completely protected from the ravages of the outside sea. Altata is a vacation getaway for Mexicans, kind of like New Orleans, where drinking outside and on the Malecon is allowed, with great restaurants and bars. Speaking of the Malecon, Altata's Malecon is second to none. I think we would rate it as one of the nicest out of anywhere we have seen, as it should be, as it's only a few years old. The roads leading off the waterfront Malecon are completely done in pavers, and with actual cement sidewalks. That might sound normal for the States, but this is a big deal in Mexico, and the people of Altata are very proud of it. Once we got our fill of town, we hopped across the mile-wide bay and anchored near where we had seen people in the mud at low tide collecting clams.
Oh yeah. Sweet nectar of anti-life.
The next day, we woke up early to explore this less developed side of Altata. We had big hopes for blazing our own trail, but soon realized how dense the foliage truly was ashore. Being inundated with mosquitoes, despite the amount of DEET we put on, slowed us down. But what really made us retreat quickly back to the beach were the sand spurs. These painful spurs are the worst. They stick to everything and have extremely tough spikes. Before we knew it, we were all entirely covered by them. And even worse, Yuli the dog was as well. The tide was now lowering, and we decided to take a shot at collecting clams. We then left them in a bucket of salt water to let them filter out the sand they had inside. Josh had seen a direct road about 3 miles up the beach, so we returned to the boats to get the outboards. We had brought down an old Evinrude 2-horsepower outboard that we got with our first boat, Tara. After a few adjustments, John had it purring, so we loaded up and went for it.
This is why I carry 100 ounces of water with me all the time. Most of it goes here.
We are walking down the beach in Altata and waiting at a northerly before we head on south to Mazatlan. We were told that we are meeting the quota for the amount of sailboats that come in here a year. Anywhere from 2, and then one person said 15, but I think that was like a max, maybe 1 year. But we were walking the beach. Josh said he saw a road over yonder. Needless to say, the road was underwater, but Josh was confident it would go dry soon, so we pressed on.
Still gonna have leeches on it?
Oh.
It's Altata has crocodiles?
It kind of feels a little crocky.
Oh, this is just interesting. I mean, at least the water's clear, which makes it like okay. Maybe.
So we made it to the other side, back to the ocean. There was a bunch of, I'd call a lot of these mansions really cool, but a lot of them are just abandoned. This house right here has fallen into the ocean. This is a pretty interesting sight. You just don't ever see that. Whole house is leaning over. Look at that. Look at the concrete is just splitting. That is insane. It doesn't even look like it ever got finished. Everything's just still being wired. Wow. Look at all the doors. None of these look like they're being maintained. Like this one next to it, look at that one. All the paint's peeling off of it.
Oh, I mean, this one didn't even make it, right? I think, you know, even as sea level rise, even it just rises a little bit, the storm surges that are associated with hurricanes that hit this coast, obviously these houses already can't even stand it. And this isn't like a poorly built house, it's just that it's built on sand, it's built on the beach, and these beaches are changing.
We always stay off private property like this, but in this case, the property was clearly abandoned, so we took a closer look.
Wow, look at these doors!
That's what I was saying, the doors are beautiful.
We should really not be there.
I know.
Yeah, let's go.
We should really what?
Not be under here.
Is this freaking you out a little bit?
Oh my God.
Not pressing our luck with the ever-failing structure, we didn't stay too long.
Freaking crazy.
We left the ruins wondering what was the cause of such dilapidation. Was it due to neglect, climate change, or simply poor engineering?
Here. Alright, dude, hang on, hang on. Oh god!
Oh, that's like black tar.
It is. It's like the oil. That's not just me.
I can't see I'm laughing at you first.
I know. Karma to the max.
What's life gonna be like without media crema?
I don't know.
Just prepping them for their final bath.
For their death jacuzzi.
Yeah. You like that? The jacuzzi of death?
Like those hikers in Dante's Peak and the hot springs that got too hot.
What?
No?
Like frogs? They didn't realize it?
Yeah. You guys have never seen Dante's Peak?
No.
They're Pierce Brosnan, man.
Oh really? You guys are up on the Pierce Brosnan. We're gonna do some catching up.
What are you cooking, Jess?
This is spicy chicken chowder, corn chowder, but we don't have any chicken, so it's potato chowder.
Mmm.
And I'm not a huge fan of clams, and so that's why we're
It's not gonna be clam
It's
chowder.
not gonna be clam chowder. Sorry, guys.
Sorry, guys.
Where?
That's
I need more cream.
No, they're just,
Josh, do you remember where you found the media crema?
next one. Yep, over there. Just like scrubbing there's some of them have little seagrass or something stuck on them. It's a little slime. Yeah, I mean it helps. You know, the cleaner you can get them before you eat them, the better, because they live in the sand. So give them a little scrub.
Oh, are these the clean ones?
Yeah.
Sorry, am I in your way
No,
now?
you're not.
Okay.
Not at all.
What do you want to do?
I think this clam appetizer sounds really good. And we need onion, 1 small onion, 1 tablespoon of garlic. We're not going to put the mushrooms in. We don't have any bacon, so we're not going to put bacon in. We need some butter, ground pepper to taste. We need 1-2 cups of clams, steamed and chopped if necessary. Some Tabasco sauce and Parmesan cheese.
Sweet. Just what's the biggest difference from cooking on land versus cooking in your boat?
Certainly have a lot more limited counter space and a lot more limited burner space. But honestly, I cook a lot more on the boat than I ever did on land. And having this like perfectly compact little kitchen, it's just the right amount of space. And I think it ends up working out just fine. I mean, you can't have like 2 people in the kitchen can get old pretty quickly, or maybe not happen at all. It's different, but it might be better.
Well, definitely keeps too many cooks out of the kitchen, right?
That's for sure.
It's ready right here.
Let's see. They look pretty open, all of them.
Okay, here you go, Dolphin.
What do you think,
To toast
Josh?
it, you could, because I think it's really good toasted.
Okay.
For mussels that we picked off the beach 12 hours ago? Not even that. 6 hours ago?
Well, I can't even talk right now.
It's so good.
Sorry. Must be.
What do you think, Shanny?
Mmm. Mmm.
Yeah?
I mean, but how can you go wrong? Fresh made English muffin bread, garlic, red onions, fresh clams, and Parmesan cheese. I mean,
It's not bad.
The real deal.
That's a good trifecta.
we have been invited to go for a shrimp run with a local fisherman. These are the same guys that we saw the other day that they start at the top of the bay, cast their nets, hoist a little spinnaker sail, and drift down as their net drags. And then when they get to about, you can see actually some of them are behind me, all the different colored sails. When they get to a certain point, they drop their sail, pull up their nets, get their catch, and then zoom up to the top of the bay again and do it again. So we've been invited to do a couple runs with them, and we're gonna go check it out. With Alfonso at the helm, showing us what to do, and Jess translating, this turned out to be an experience we will never forget. Alfonso explained how his family had been shrimping this bay for over 3 generations. We learned that each of the colored sails represents a family, kind of like a coat of arms. So at any point of the day, Alfonso could look for a blue and yellow sail and see if his father, grandfather, uncles, or brothers were out fishing as well.
En su corazón eres un pescador. Completamente. Como su padre.
Alfonso continued to explain to us that the added increase of tourism to Altata allowed his generation to not only fish, but work for the restaurants that serve his shrimp. With this added income, Alfonso can now send his kids to university, which he is very proud of. It was great to see a local economy really working for the locals in a small Mexican town. I think it's awesome. I'm picking up on a little bit he's saying, but and speaks so quick.
I know. There are certain words. I can hear it though now that I know the words.
Shan, what do you
So, Alfonso told us that when you hold the lines like this, with the lines with pressure on your forefinger and your middle finger, that you will feel like little ticks when the shrimp are crawling into the nets. And you can. It's like it's almost like, oh yeah, there it is. After spending about an hour on our first pass, Alfonso gave the signal that we were done, and it was time to pull in the nets. We caught about 12 to 15 shrimp each time we did a pass. Alfonso explained to us that a good day fishing would be around 40 shrimp, and at a local price of $8 a pound, Alfonso was pretty happy with us hitting his quota after only 3 runs. After a full day of fishing, we bought the shrimp we had just caught for a festive dinner and said goodbye to Alfonso and Altata.
Another one, a little fishers.
Mmm.
Not
It tastes
bad.
like coconut shrimp.
No way.
Score! Yeah, good call with the cooking in the coconut oil.
Oh, damn.
Good.
Well, I hope I didn't overcook them. Frying them is like...
No, it's perfect.
Okay, cool.
We had a wonderful time in Altata. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon right now, and we decided that we are going to head down the 10-mile estuary that leads up to the town to get a little head start on tomorrow, so we don't have to traverse that in the morning. And also, the tide's on our side right now. Got plenty of light, plenty of time. We're not in a rush at all, and if we get to the very mouth of the estuary, we can at least see really what the conditions are versus our forecasted conditions, which we have learned over and over again are they're just not very reliable. Tomorrow, the plan, weather permitting, is we are going to leave for Mazatlan, which is quite a big deal. We have been looking forward to getting to Mazatlan since we've gotten back, so very excited. Probably the friendliest people we've met on the trips so far, up there like with Pacific Baja, which the people just don't see a lot of yatistas, so very, very warm, very, very welcoming, very, very safe too. The whole community gave us this really warm feeling, which was a good thing. That's about to change. Mazatlan's kind of famous for getting stolen off your boat, so our methods will have to change dramatically.
Altata is a great place to visit for cruisers and offers great food, music, and people. This stop in Altata concluded our visit on the forgotten coast of mainland Mexico in the Sea of Cortez. We were very happy we chose to explore this very isolated and not frequently visited part of Mexico. Next stop, Mazatlan, our first real taste of mainland Mexico and the Mexican Riviera. Next time on SV Prism, we leave Altata for the overnight sail to Mazatlan. We head for the rolling anchorage of Deer Island, only to foul our prop while coming into the lee of the island. Then it's off to the marina, where we learn about all the included amenities. Did we mention they had a water slide? We take the overlook hike to view the large swell that closed the entrance to the marina, and walked through an eerie abandoned resort. We then move over to the Stone Island anchorage, near the old part of town, and explore this very cultured and historic place. Please remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Also, follow us on Facebook and Instagram to see the newest updates on where we are right now. The show is funded by viewers like you, so if you like the show, consider becoming a patron so we can continue making the show in the future. For more details about Prism, camera gear, and the crew, go to svprism.com. Thanks again for watching, and like always, fair winds and following seas.